Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 24 of Direwolf20's Let's Play. I'm just getting back to that neat little Thaumcraft contraption with frames that I was working on last episode, so let's head back to my main base and get all the components I'm going to need to start building this thing. Alright, so now I'm back in my main base. I need to build a few logic gates to be able to handle this. Now remember, I said I need my motors here to basically go 4 down, and then 1 left, and then 4 up. And then the next time I activate it, we want it to go 4 down, 1 right, and 4 up. So I'm going to need a few pieces of logic gates here, and the best way to explain it will be as I build it. So I'm going to go make all the logic gates that I need, and you're just going to have to take my word for it that I kind of know what I'm doing. Totally lying, not a clue what I'm doing. Anyway, I'll be right back. Alright, so you guys can see me getting ready to do some state cell stuff here. The first one I want to create is a state cell. This guy is pretty much one of the logic circuits I'm going to need. The only thing you guys may not have seen before is the silicon chip. It's a new component of Red Power 2's logic gate system, and it's just 3 stone wafers with a red doped wafer on top. So I'll get 3 of those because I'm going to need 3, believe it or not, state cells. So actually that got me 3 silicon chips, so way more than I needed, but alright, I'll live. Now checking the recipe again, I think I'm going to need at least 6 of you and something like 1, 2, 3, bada bing, bada boom. So that guy, that guy, that guy, and 2 of these. And this here, and this here, and this here, and then the rest should just be stone wafers. Cool. 3 state cells, that's step 1. Next I'm going to need a NOT gate. Now I got a lot of flack last season when I created NOT gates with crafting tiles here instead of just using a torch on the end of a block. Trust me, it's way better to use a NOT gate when you're building complex logic systems as opposed to the crazy stuff you might have when you're using just a torch or whatever. So I'm going to need 3 stone anodes each and a stone wire. So let's get just a bunch of these stone anodes. I'm going to need a lot of them anyway. There we go. And a bunch of you as well. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to have some of these. I'm going to need at least a few. Okay, so what was the recipe for the NOT gate again? 3 of each like this. I know what I'm doing, I swear. Alright, 3 NOT gates. Cool. And then finally, I'm going to need 3 timers, which you guys have seen me craft in the past, so I'll skip this part. There we go. Timers. Boom. So I've got my state cells, NOT gates. I think I crafted an extra NOT gate, but that's okay. I'll use it later. And a timer. Actually, I think I crafted an extra timer as well. Oh well, not a big deal. I'll always use more of those. Now the last thing I want to get is one more item called the toggle latch. So I'm going to need 2 cathodes, 2 wires, and a lever. I think I've got some levers on me. 2 cathodes. I need yeah, 2 of you, please. And 2 wires, and we'll be good. Alright, toggle latch. Nice, I'll be right back. Alright, so you're going to have to take for granted the fact that I crafted this little contraption in my test world before doing it here, which is why I knew exactly what I needed. Maybe before I zip down there I should put away my junk that I just created. I don't need most of this stuff anymore. That should be good. So I've got all the stuff I need. I crafted a couple extra logic tiles, but not a big deal. I'm really getting a kick out of the sword. Alright, so where do I want to run this stuff? I'm also going to need some wiring and whatnot, so maybe I'll come back in a few minutes after I collect everything I need here. Yeah, that's probably a wise idea. Alright, back down underground here. You can see I'm going to knock some of this stuff off. So let's knock this one off first, just in case it moves like it did, and then move this one down. Alright. And I'm going to need some red power wiring to go over here, but we'll have to see exactly how I want to wire this stuff. Going to get it a little dark in here as I knock stuff off, but probably going to want my logic circuits to be placed back here. This looks like a good a spot as any. And I'm digging right through into my crystal growing room. By the way, I stopped by and saw my crystal grew a little bit, so hooray, it finally did happen. I knew those guys would grow eventually. It's just very, very slow, it seems. Which is fine. So I don't know if I have enough room here, actually. I may not. Ooh, that might be a problem. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I might have to make a little bit of a mess and clean it up after the fact. How about I think about for a few minutes exactly how I want this to work, and then I'll be back to, well, you know what? Maybe right back here would be a good spot. I don't need this infinite water pool anymore, right? This might be good. Yeah, we'll see. I'll be back in a few minutes here, guys, once I have everything I want done. Alright, guys, just doing a little rewiring down here. Trying to keep this as clean as possible. This should work pretty well for me. And then let's see. I need to get under here, probably. And probably under here as well. So I might need to do something like... If I were to grab a stone cover, this should work, I think. And then place a blue alloy wire on top. Can I run some redstone wiring underneath? Yeah, I can. Nice. Alright, so what I want to do is connect a piece of red wire to here. And I might need to do this with some cabling. I don't know if I have the resources for it, though. So, alas, I may need to do this a little bit more difficult of an approach. Alright, yeah, give me a minute to think if I want to do this with bundled cabling or just plain old redstone. I don't think I have the wool for it. Alright, I decided I want to try and do this with wool. Hopefully I collected enough. I ran around outside, got about a dozen. Could probably use a little more than that, to be honest with you guys, but let's see what I can manage with just this much wool. Alright, so I had 9 wool in my inventory already. I got 5 gray wool from out there, light gray wool actually it looks like. So let's get another piece of bone meal and turn this gray dye into light gray dye. Cool, alright. And then try and get this crafting done right. So wool and light wool, so light gray and light gray, that'll give me 6 of that. And how am I for... red alloy ingots. Do I have any more of these in here? Yeah, I do. Awesome. Looks like I have just enough, too. So I'm going to get myself some light gray insulated cabling, white insulated cabling, and some brown insulated cabling. Because I've got 3 things I need to run. And then I'm going to go and make myself a little bit more of that copper into whatchamacallit stuff. So let's see. Yeah, I need 16 of these. So I'm going to get all my resources together on what I'll need and cook up a few more pieces of ingots. But I'm basically going to make another one of these white insulated wirings here. I'll be right back. Okay, so ready to do another white one. So here's some wool. Gets me more white. And I'm going to do something like this. If I put my white insulated cabling, and any colors will do, with some string around it, I'll get myself some bundled cable. Awesome. This is some really cool stuff. I think that's all I'm going to need for now, hopefully. So I'll be back in a few once I'm back downstairs and ready to do all this cool stuff. Alright, so let's see how effectively I can build the little logic gate that I made back in my test world. So first I'm going to need to place down some state cells. Following that, I'll need to use my NOT gates and my timers to get everything I need working. And I'm also going to need my screwdriver here to reorient everything. Now, the state cell is a pretty neat little device. When it receives a redstone signal from this side, yeah, I'm going to have to use some covers to clean that up. But when it receives a redstone signal from this side, it's going to send a pulse forward. And it's going to keep that pulse going until it hits this end of the little thing is going to turn here and face on the right side. And I can set the interval for that. And based on my testing, I want this to be about 3.5 seconds, and I'll explain why in a minute. And then when that gets to that side, it's going to send a pulse on the right side of this block, which I only want to run for about a second. And then finally, we want it to pulse over here, and this guy we only want to run for about, I don't know, 4 seconds. 4.1, that should be about good. Now remember, it's going to keep a steady pulse going forward, and because of that, I want a NOT gate here and here. Don't need anything else. Cool. Now, one of the things I'm going to have to go ahead and craft is, if I put my diamond handsaw next to my stone covers here, you can get a stone cover strip. These things are awesome. And what they allow you to do is simply place down some cover strips to prevent wires from connecting. They're also nice for looking pretty too, but for this purpose, right now everything's connected. We don't want that. We want this little line here to just go straight through. So by placing a stone cover strip here and here, you can see that we're no longer affected by the blocks on either side. Pretty cool. And then up here, I want to place my timers. So I want to put a timer here and a timer here. And again, we want some stone cover strips so our wire does not connect. Awesome. So far, following along? I hope so. Now our timer here, I want this to run at 1 second intervals. So what this should do is when this guy receives a redstone pulse, it's going to start counting down for about 3.5 seconds. And this guy is going to disable the NOT gate, which is going to allow the timer to run once every second. Now the reason for the 3.5 seconds here is because when you push a button, the button is held down for about half a second. So what should happen is this guy should send 4 redstone pulses. And then this state cell here is going to click over and activate this state cell, which is going to run for about 1 second. Perfect. Could probably even make it half a second if I wanted to, but 1 second's fine. It's just going to send 1 simple pulse forward. And then it's going to activate this state cell, which will run for about 4.1 seconds, and it'll let this guy run 4 times at 1 second intervals. So we're going to get 4 pulses, 1 pulse, 4 pulses. Oh, perfect. 4 down, 1 over, 4 up. So far, I hope you guys are following along. Now I'm going to get ready with my wiring here. Cool. I'm going to make probably the down be white. And then brown will be the sideways, and then gray here will be the up. Cool. And to go along with that, I'm going to get some bundled cabling. And remember, bundled cabling, what this does is it allows you to run your cables all at once. I might need a little bit more of this stuff. This time I'm going to go with brown. Just need a little bit more of it, and I don't think I'll need quite too much more of the brown stuff, but we'll see. Brought some extra string with me, just in case. And let's see what happens here. So hopefully I should be able to run this like so. And might even need a little bit more of this. So let's get some more white going. And I do have the possibility to make a little bit more white if I need to. So not a big deal if I run low on it. Alright, so if I do something like that, cool. That looks good to me. Alright. So I said white should be the down one. So it was this guy that was facing down. So we'll run some white cabling straight up to here. Ta-da! There we go. And you guys will note that the cool thing about the different colored cables is they don't connect to each other like normal redstone would. So if you guys haven't seen much redstone wiring, here's a pretty good example of all the powerful awesomeness that Red Power 2 brings with your redstone wiring. Alright. And then we wanted the gray line to be what indicates to go up. So if I grab a gray insulated cabling, we'll run this straight over to here. Now remember that you're not going to have a problem with these frames because they're running along here. They've got the panels on the side, so it shouldn't affect my wiring. But if you didn't have panels here, the frames would get stuck because they'd be trying to move the wiring and it wouldn't be possible. So now the gray side is wired up to the thing that goes up. Now I just need to run my brown wire. Not a big deal. I can just run it like so. And I can run it straight over to here. And notice that the white and brown aren't connecting because they're different colors. The basic rule here is that this stuff will connect to anything that is either the same color or uninsulated. And I want to run it straight over to these guys, but there's a little bit of a change that I want to do when I'm down here. This is where my toggle latch comes in. So let's get this guy off of here. And let's see, how do I want to do this? Probably just dig out right under this block here. Should be good. Hopefully this is wiring properly. I need to use my toggle latch. Now the way this guy works, place him right about here. Is that right? Cool. Yep. But I want to reorient him. So screwdriver. There we go. Whenever he receives a redstone signal on this side, he's going to alternate which side he's emitting a redstone signal from. So redstone signal comes in, boom, it toggles either side. What do I want to do with this guy? Well, pretty simple. Let's run some redstone wiring like so. If I run this redstone wiring right up to this frame motor, and then this redstone wiring, oh, got a problem. So we got to use those cover strips again, right? Now I'm going to use my cover strips all the way along here because I don't want them interfering with this redstone cable. Come on, get out of my way there. There we go, right up to the top. This way it'll keep the redstone cables not working. Now I could do this with either cover strips or with the whatchamacallit stuff, but cover strips are fine. That looks good. So you can see I was messing around here and caused a bit of a mess because I had that wire live. Probably shouldn't have had that connected just yet. Not a big deal. I will move this stuff appropriately. Let's see, where am I at here? If I just 1, 2, and then connect this guy, should move everything back over. Alright, so we've got this guy pretty wired up. Let's give him a little test by putting some levers here and here. So this guy should push him up, and this guy should push it down. Perfect. Everything's looking good to me. Now I want to connect my wire. I got this guy all ready to connect. So when I connect this wire here, it should move everything over left one. Nope, I left that the wrong direction. So let's do that. And then I'll do that. So now when I connect this thing up, we're good. And then I'll put this wire here. So what should happen is, if I wire this up properly, this guy should move things down 4, and then it'll toggle this latch over here, which will activate this frame motor, moving everything left 1, which will cause the over here position to be swapped so that the Q block goes up. And then 4 pulses will send it up. It'll sit flush with the thing. And then another redstone pulse will do 4 down, toggle it, move everything right 1 so that the enchanter is ready, and then 4 up again. Boy, I hope I wired everything properly. Let's get this cleaned up and ready to test. But what we should do is move everything up a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Now everything should be in position and ready to go. If I check up there, yep, everything looks good to me. Cool. All right, and I'm probably going to clean up the basement here just so things look nice once everything's ready. I'll be back when I'm ready to show this thing in action. And what I want to do is have a button, probably like right here, that alternates how everything works. So I'm going to run some wiring straight down, and I'll use stone covers to cover this up so that it looks nice. So let's do this and that. Oh, look how pretty. All right, and let's see if I can find that block. Somewhere around there it was. Cool. I'll just run it straight down over to here. And all I got to do is run it right across the ceiling, and then straight over here, 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 like that. So it loops around to here. And this should, if everything's working properly, cross your fingers everybody, because this is the actual real-time, let's see how it works test. I need 2 stone to make a button. And let's really cover up the floor here. Alright, if everything's working properly, this should work when I place this button and push it. Cross your fingers, guys. Go! Move! Alright, it didn't move it over. Let me see if I can figure out why I did that. Hang on. I might have just needed to do it once to do it properly. 1, 2, 3, 4... Alright, my toggle latch system isn't working, but we're pretty close there. So let me go see what's wrong and I'll be right back. And you guys get to see me troubleshoot. So here's how we test our system. Place another button down here that does the exact same process. So we get to watch everything pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Send a brown pulse. Did I make that not long enough? You know what? I think I might know what it is. This might be too short. Or like, you know, not soon enough. So let's make this guy... That might be what's happening. So let's bump this up to, no, 3.75 or 3.8. Let's see what that works. So will everything work properly now with that improved? Because I think that's what it was. I think the brown thing was swapping too soon. So the next one to go will push things right, which is not what I want. There we go. Now the next thing will go will push things left, which is what I want. So let's see. Push the button. Just need to adjust the timing, I think. There we go. Hey, look at that, it's working. And then the brain in the jar comes back. And the Q block is here with his books and whatnot. And then if I want it to go back, just push the button again. Ta-da! Oh, how neat is that, huh? And it connects with the V's conduits and everything. Sure, there's a little frames visible, but that's really not something I could fix. But I'm pretty proud of that build. Wow, that is cool. And you know what? I'm going to need a brain sitting right here, so I should probably knock this button off, which will cause the system to flip again, but that's alright. I'll put the button right here. That's a good spot for it. So we should get our Q block back. Or no, there's the enchanter again, huh? Alright, let's see what happened. I think if you hold the button too long, it might be a problem. It might just be a little bit of a timing issue. Yep, I gotta go fix that. So I will be back. And what I'm doing is placing some cobblestone here to act as like a little buffer thing so that it won't ever go further than it's supposed to. So if I put this here, that should stop this thing from moving too far to the left or right. And hopefully I'm right about that. So let's send this guy back up. This is how you test a frames machine. On camera. Alright, one more time. So this way, with those little buffer blocks, if it is in the wrong position, which it shouldn't be ever, but it won't actually do anything, see? That's what those little bumper blocks did, is prevent it from moving further than it should either direction. Once you're in a right cycle, you should be good, but if I'm down there screwing around and changing stuff, then you might have a problem like I just did. But yeah, everything looks good now. Back to working properly. How cool is that, huh? I really like that. Awesome. Alright, so now I can start enchanting stuff in this room, which I'll definitely come back and do pretty soon. However, I would like to sneak down here and see how this little crystal's doing. Did get one piece of crystal growth, so let's try out that neat little bell thingy that I got a while back. I need the crystalline bell, please. So, cool. I should probably go with a full-blown crystal farm down here, but one gets me one crystal. Nice. Loving it. Alright, I will consider doing that crystal farm. Maybe I should do it now, just because, but I've got such a mess of an inventory. Oh boy. Why don't I head back to my base, clean up my inventory, and then maybe move on, check on my bees and stuff that I've been unfortunately neglecting since I was playing with this neat little frame contraption. Oh man, frames are so fun. Boy oh boy, could my mod item chest be any more full? Yeah, I should probably split this up into a couple different chests. Maybe I'll do that off camera between this episode and next. If you come back next episode and see another chest here, you know what happened. Alright, let's go check on our bees. How am I doing over here with these guys? I did get a cultivated princess, which is cool, and some cultivated drones. I just want to check if they're purebred or not. And some more of these guys. So it looks like I got a solid amount of the cultivated line here, which is good because cultivated bees produce a lot of honeycomb. So let's pop through to this side. There we go. See, I'm getting better with that portal, remembering not to derp it up. And there we go. Let's get some more of the honey drops and analyze our cultivated princess here. Ah, it's a purebred princess. Nice. And if I made it with a purebred drone, I'm guaranteed to get another purebred. So these guys are cultivated meadows, cultivated forest, cultivated common, cultivated diligent. Boy, how much fun am I having? That's kind of cool, though, that I got a cultivated diligent, though, because that's the industrious branch of bees, which has some cool stuff. But it's recessive, which means that if I were to breed it with a cultivated princess like this one, I would have a 0% chance of getting a diligent queen. So I want to hang on to this guy. Maybe I should put like a special page in here for stuff I definitely want to be careful of. How about... Yeah, I got no idea what I'm doing. Let's throw my cultivated diligent hybrid in here. Sure, why not? That's cool. Cultivated diligent, nice. I think it took me a long time to get to diligent bees last season. Alright, I definitely have to sort out how I'm going to store all my bees, because there's just so many to keep track of. Do I have any that I haven't analyzed yet here, by the way? My princesses I haven't done. Common forest. And cultivated common. Well, I've got a cultivated princess. Slowest worker, huh? I thought you guys were faster workers. Oh well. I guess maybe that changed. Alright, this is a cultivated drone that's a fast worker. Oh boy. Yeah, bees are complicated. My head hurts. I'm going to go just put them together and cross my fingers. But not put them in here, because, like I said, still getting used to that whole portal thing. Cultivated princess with a cultivated common fast worker. That might be a good combo to have. And then I'll just put these guys together however fits. Sure, why not? And you, common, can go with you, cultivated forest. Why not? Alright, I'll be back in a minute. Let's check on our build crafter room. How's everything doing in here, guys? Looking alright. Got plenty of redstone chipsets, which is good because I'm going to need some, probably, let's get a few iron ore gates. No, how about iron and gates? We'll get at least 2 or 3 of them. 3 should be good. And we'll put the rest of these in here, maybe 4. Alright, why not 4? Cool. And these guys take a while to produce, so I'm going to let this happen off camera, of course, but you can see how slow the progress bar is going, even with the full blue lasers, 2 of them. It's going to take a little bit to get those iron and gates, but they will be very cool and useful in the very near future. How's my fuel supply doing? Not bad. Could be better. Combustion engines are still pretty full, but we don't have a surplus over here just yet. Not a big deal, though. We'll let all this stuff process. I'm going to want to have some kind of control mechanism for all the machines in this room, let alone all my quarry stuff. And how is my quarry going? Ooh, he stopped. Dun, dun, dun. I think I might have hit bedrock. Good way to find out, that's for sure. Let's go straight over to here and close up all these guys. So if I were to simply place down some blocks like so, get rid of all these source blocks, there it is. There we go. Let me clear up all these source blocks, and we should be able to see the bottom, unless there's other water source blocks down there to clear, of course, which we may find out. Now, typically I like to have at least just 1 water source block, but I didn't do that this time, and kind of regretting it at this point, but it's not that big a deal. Just have a few to clear up. Yeah, not bad at all. Not to mention all the cobble I have, I should be fine. Ooh, cool. Hole in the world. Just crouch walk in to make sure everything's good and smooth. Alright. Now I might have some water source blocks underneath these ones, so how about I go clean up this mess and I'll be back in a few. And we're getting there, guys. Just a few more source blocks to go, I think, and then we will have cleaned up most of this mess. Yep, just a few. I suspect. Hey, where'd all my cobble go? Looks like a lot of stuff falling there. Let's do smooth stone since we just have a little bit left to go. Hey, there we go. Starting to get some water falling. Cool. Any water staying there, or is it all gone? Nice. And this always has a nice visual bug here when there's this much water getting changed around in a bit, so I'll be back once this thing completely drains. In fact, while that thing is draining, I think this might be a perfect time to get ourselves a neat little device to help us get around a little bit easier. So I'm going to grab myself a few pieces of ingots here. Looks like if I want to craft myself an electric jetpack, woohoo, I'm going to need 5 pieces of refined iron. And let's see. Bat box, huh? Yeah. 5 refined iron ought to do it. I'll be back once I've got all the ingredients. Alright, let's see if we can manage to get this guy crafted here. Battery box, if I remember, was something like this. And that's just to hold the charge. Then I'm going to need something along these lines. Have I made a advanced circuit yet this season? I think I did, right? Well, in case I haven't, here's how you do it. Just redstone in the corners, and then glowstone and lapis. Get you an advanced circuit. Cool. And I place my refined iron like this with the bat box, the advanced circuit, and jetpack. Awesome. The electric jetpack is, as it sounds, electric. Just place it on your back and you can fly. So I'm going to have to replace the bat pack, but that's fine. I'll just swap them out as needed. So now I'll be able to fly around, hopefully over by my quarry, and make sure I got all the way down to the bottom. Alright, so just place your electric bat pack on your back there, and we're ready to jump through our portal and see what happened with all our water. Ha! It's still sinking down. And you can see a bunch of stuff here. And you just hit space to fly. Yep, world's taking a long time to load around me because of all the chunk updates. I'll be back once the world has loaded and I can show you guys some cool stuff. And cleared out another little natural lake that my quarry seems to have run into. And you can see a bunch more water disappearing. I'll be back in a minute when it's all gone. Hey, there we go. Looks like we hit bedrock. Woot! So, lots of area cleared out by the quarry, as you guys can see. Lots of resources available here, including diamonds. Hooray! See why I do this? Every now and then, you find diamonds. Let's get this... Well, no, I'll still need the jetpack on in a minute. So I probably quarried up a couple diamonds. That's good to know at least. What else do we have around here? Anything else that's good? That's semi-really important or rare. Quite a few crystals, actually, it looks like. So I'm probably going to go harvest them real fast. Let's at least get this cool stuff. Gold is nice to have. I'm running a little bit low on gold, of course, just because of how much I'm using it for my buildcraft stuff. What else? Anything else cool down here, guys? No, I think we got most of it. Oh, are those more diamonds? Yeah, they are. What's up, diamonds? How's it going? Precision flying is not easy with the jetpack unless you put it on hover mode. Trying to remember how to do that. Oh yeah, and like I said, lots of Beast crystals around here. It's supposed to be M for your hover mode switch, but no such luck on that. So I'm going to clean up these Beast crystals. So anyway, it looks like it's getting dark out. There's some Beast crystals for me to go harvest, which I'm definitely going to do right about now. And I'm going to wrap up this episode. So this has been episode 24 of Direwolf20's Let's Play. Hope you guys enjoyed checking it out. Stay tuned for 25. Who knows what kind of trouble I'm going to get into. I honestly don't know yet. So we'll see you then. Take it easy, everybody.